Almost 100 years ago, there was a movement started in the West on the name of equality between man and woman. And that movement actually, now people are realizing, has caused such a damage to our family system that even the West is looking for the solution because their family system is all gone. In 60s, there was another movement started, movement of nudeness, movement of fahisha, movement of freedom, that anybody can have relationship with anybody any time of their life. If you go and look in the history of this country, United States of America, before this second movement started in 60s, only 10% of the people have relationship out of marriage. If you go and find today, 95% of Americans, they have relationship out of marriage, outside whatever Allah and the holy books have recommended. See the progress of these movements. Then there is another movement started in 80s on the name of LGBTQ. And we can see now the effect of that movement. There is a fourth movement started recently, and that movement is transgenders. You can change your sex, you can go according to your feelings. Man and woman identity is just a social setup, it's just a social identity. So there is no such thing like a separate gender. You can identify yourself the way you want. To the extent you might have followed, there are court cases in Canada and United States that if a 10, 12, 13-year-old decides that he or she wants to change his body figures from male to female or female to male, because based on the feelings, law is going to allow them to have it done. And if the parents are going to resist, they will lose their parentship. They will lose their right on that child. There is a big shelter, according to the Senate law, has set up in Washington. If these kids, they want to run away from their home, government is going to provide them the shelter. This is just the beginning of this fourth movement. And don't think this is going to die down in 1 year or two. The reason I gave you the reference of the first movement, look what is happening right now. And the second movement of nudeness, look what's happening. Even the animals, they go in hiding. But if you go in Europe, which is more advanced in this, you will see people are intermingling and doing things in public places. So I want to warn Muslim community that, brothers, if we are living in this part of the world, wallahi, we have to realize the dangers coming, they are on their way. So the main thing which I want to ask you, are we ready? Are we ready to face these challenges? We can only face these challenges if, as a Muslim, we keep our bar high. We draw a line. We stand for morals and ethics, because no faith-based community is ready to fight this battle. Most of the Christian groups and Jewish groups, they have already given up. They are looking towards Muslims to take a stand, because this is our basic human right, that at least we can talk about it. At least we can protect our home. At least we can protect our community. For that, the main thing is that our house should be in order. Our house should be in order. And inshallah, this is the focus of my khutbah today, that what can we do to bring our house in order so that we are ready for these challenges, so we can face them, because this is not going to stop, it's going to get worse with time. When I look at our community, wallahi, as a family counselor, I come across everyday situation which could be solved easily, but somehow we act in a very irresponsible way. I see fight between husband and wife, everyday case, fight between children and parents, fight between different brothers and sisters in the community. And you hear week ago, same story week after, and you tell them the same solution. And sometimes you pull your hair and you try to realize, how can I make these brothers and sisters to understand time is running out of our hand, and we are just fighting among ourselves and not ready to face the challenges of tomorrow. My brothers, my job is an-nasiha. Hazrat Saleh alayhi salam, after he advised his nation again and again, they didn't listen. Qawm Samud, when they all died, and Saleh alayhi salam was walking on their dead bodies with some of the companions, he addressed those dead bodies. And Saleh alayhi salam said to them, you people, I was advising you. I was giving you nasiha. I was telling you what is right. But you people, you don't appreciate the person who gives nasiha to you. This deen of ours, about which Prophet Muhammad says, ad-deenu an-nasiha. Deen is all about nasiha. Deen is all about that we are well-wisher to each other. Deen is all about that we are transparent to each other. Deen is all about that we love each other. Deen is all about that we are truthful to each other. Like Prophet says, Al-Hajju Arafah. Hajj is nothing but Arafah. Same way, Prophet is saying, Ad-Deenu An-Nasiha. Deen is nothing but Nasiha, Khair Khwahi. You are well-wisher of each other. So my brothers and my sisters, wallahi, the solution of our problem is, as I was listening to one of the sheikh, he said 2 words. And 2 words are, Ittaqullah. Ittaqullah, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our problem is, and I'm going to share with you some of the verses of Quran, Ittaqullah has no meaning in our life. No matter how many times I say, or no matter how many times one say, Ittaqullah means nothing. Rather, we have reached to the level that if you remind somebody, brother, Ittaqullah, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is going to get upset with you. What wrong I did? Why you are saying to me, Ittaqullah? Who you are to say me, Ittaqullah? People get offended if you remind them, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brother and my sisters. So our situation, I remember in Pakistan, I was trying to reconcile between 2 brothers, and one brother has taken loan from other brother, and he was not paying him back. And he was not even acknowledging that loan. So I said to him, brother, Ittaqullah, you have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One day you have to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His reply was that let him give me more money, and I will inshallah pay him back on that day. Can you believe this? That how dear we have become, that we don't even care that I will face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and my sisters, the ayah of Quran in which I read in front of you, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is from Surah Anfal. See, there is a heart of a mu'min, and there is a heart of non-believer, and there is a heart of munafiq, hypocrite. Quran is describing and giving us description, the difference between 3 hearts when they hear the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah Infal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, innamal mu'minuna allazina zukirallahu wajilat qulubuhum. When they hear zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their heart trembles, shakes. When they hear zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they humble themselves, they surrender. They feel themselves that they are going to follow whatever Allah is going to tell them. Tremble as soon as they hear the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting one time with Sahaba, and he said, there will be a time coming that out of so many people, only one will qualify for Jannah. And they all start crying and said, Ya Rasulullah, how that will happen? That out of so many, only one will qualify for Jannah. Prophet ﷺ said, Prophet is among you, so for you it becomes lot easier to believe what Allah is saying and what Prophet is saying. But as time passes by, the gap increases, the message doesn't stay as strong as it is today. But for the people who are connected with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this Quran is as strong as it was 1400 years ago. For them, the meaning of the life, the meaning of the saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is as important and as valuable as it was 1400 years ago. You can see brothers and sisters in our communities, brothers and sisters, the only condition is they are still attached with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are still pondering, contemplating, trying to find the nur, the roshni, the way out from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second condition is that these brothers and sisters are in the company of good people who can remind them, who can hold their hand if they go wrong in anything, my brothers and my sisters. So Quran is saying that people of Iman, when they hear words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their heart trembles. Now let me go in Surah Zumar, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if non-believer, if you mention Allah Wahid, the only one God, in front of them, what happens to their hearts? Quran says, وَإِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَحْدَهُ مَعَزَّتْ قُلُوبُ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ. That if you mention Allah Wahid, only one God, in front of them, what happens? Their hearts get filled with disgust. They get uncomfortable. You can see on their face, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear what you are saying. You are mentioning one God. They become very uncomfortable. It causes uneasiness. The word, look at the word, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ashma'azzat qulub. Ashma'azzat qulub. Their heart gets filled with disgust. There is a very serious thing which I want to mention about this ayah. Allama Alusi, in his Tafsir al-Mani, he says there are Muslims, not just non-believers, there are Muslims among us, they also come under this condition that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning in this book. Who those people are? Allama Alusi says that one time I was walking by and somebody was calling on some dead buzurg, some dead sheikh who passed away, and he was seeking help from him, the dead person who was sheikh in his time. And Allama Alusi said that I told him, didn't you hear that ayah of Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ الدَّعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. Didn't you hear that ayah of Quran when Allah is saying, call me and I will answer your call? Why you are calling this dead person? Allama Alusi says that I can see on his face that he did not like what I said. And he mentioned, when he left from my majlis, that Allama Alusi does not believe in all these dead people, shuyukh, buzurg, mufti, all these people who were ruhani, spiritual in their life and they are dead now. We see this in our communities as well. If you mention to them, ask something to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly, and they will get uncomfortable. Why you are not acknowledging our buzurg, our spiritual leader, our ruhani peshwa who passed away? And some of us, we believe that these buzurg, they can listen and answer our call faster than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Astaghfirullah. This is what Allama Alusi is saying, that when Allah Wahid is mentioned in front of them, they feel very uncomfortable. Then there is another condition in Surah Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wallahi brother, what I am about to say to you, what Surah Baqarah is saying, wallahi, it makes me also very worried and concerned about myself. That if something is happening around me and somebody comes and tells me, brother, ittaqallah, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that how I respond. And what I am about to tell you, you might have experienced in your life among Muslims this behavior. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, أَخَذَتُ الْإِزَّةُ بِالْإِسْمِ فَحَسْبُهُ جَهَنَّمْ وَلَا بِئْسَ الْمِهَادُ. When you will tell them, ittaqullah, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their arrogance, their ghurur, their takabbur will take them for more sin. If you remind them, brother, it's not good to hear music, they will say, let's make it more louder. Brother, you are not supposed to watch what you are watching on the screen. You will see them, akhazatul izzatu bil ism, because of their arrogance. Their arrogance will take them more towards sin. You know, Urdu mein use kehte hain na, had dharmi. They become more arrogant. If you mention it to them, have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the condition of munafiqeen. But we should examine our iman, where we stand. If command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes in front of me, and I say, no, I will still continue what I am doing, wallahi, then I should question my iman. I should question my belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran is very clearly saying their arrogance, because from inside they feel like I don't have to listen to him. I don't care what he is saying. I will continue doing what I am doing. My brothers and my sisters, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us tawfiq, that we can work on our iman. And we can, until and unless we will work on our iman, and until and unless we will increase our bar of our morals and values and ethics, our homes will not be safe from this flood of immorality and indecency on its way. It's not going to leave any house alone. It's going to go in every house. So we have to make sure that our house in order. Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu said, sometimes, I feel like Hazrat Umar, look at his wisdom. He said, I doesn't get deceived from someone's prayers and fasting. If you want to pray, pray. If you want to fast, fast. But if he cannot uphold himself on the amana, the trust somebody has put on him, then he has no deen. Our family is a amana of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our family is a amana of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we will be answerable on one day to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about our family. And I'm going to share with you 2 ahadith. Those are really very scary ahadith. Don't feel like that life is about just have fun and then move on. And things will just go in the past and you will be gone and nothing will happen. Wallahi, the day is coming. For everything we do in this life, we will be answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why I'm saying, if somebody says, ittaqullah, understand that Quran has the same power which it has 1400 years ago. And the saying of the Prophet ﷺ are as valid as they were 1400 years ago. In one of the Sahih Hadith, Prophet ﷺ said that when everybody will be gathered on the day of judgment, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will speak to everyone, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, Anid dayanu wa anil malik. I am the judge and I am the malik, I am the king. And person who is in the front and person all the way in the back will be able to listen and hear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very clear. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, even the people of Jahannam will not go in Jahannam until and unless he will pay back the amana of the other person. Even if it's just one slap, one thappad, he has to pay back before he will go in Jahannam. Sahaba asked Prophet ﷺ, Prophet ﷺ, you said these people will be the people who will be barefoot. These are the people, they will be naked. These are the people who will be uncircumcised. And Prophet ﷺ used another word. That word was bohma. These people, bohma. Bohma is a broken person. He has no money. He has nothing in his hand. So Sahaba asked how he is going to pay back. Prophet ﷺ said, the currency of that day is your hasanat. Your hasanat and your sayyi'at. That will pay back. And then Prophet ﷺ said, even person who is going in Jannah, he will not go in Jannah until and unless he will pay back the right of other person. My brother, another hadith in which Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, when people will be passing over Pul Sirat and there will be Anbiya, they were standing in between two corners of Pul Sirat. And all the prophets were saying, Allahumma sallim sallim. Ya Rab, save us from this destruction. Prophet ﷺ says, Allah will bring two raham and amanat. Raham and amanat. He will bring two and he will release them. And they both, raham is your family, your kids, husband, wife, parents. And amana, the trust people have put on you. These both will be standing, whatever shape Allah will give them on that day, and they have to witness that this person who is walking over Pul Sirat has fulfilled his raham responsibility and he has fulfilled his amana. And if these witnesses will fail to witness for him, that person will fall in Jahannam. My brothers and my sisters, wallahi, these things in this dunya, because our heart in ghafla, our heart is heedless, our heart does not realize the severity, the intensity of that day. It all looks like it's a joke. It's just something that I can laugh and move on. But wallahi, my brothers and my sisters, there are only few more steps left for most of us, and then our grave is waiting. Right there, few more steps, and our grave is waiting. And that is the time that when we will see the yaqeen, we will see the certainty, we will see whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Quran, and whatever Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said is true, nothing but true. My brothers and my sisters, in my ending of khutbah, I want to share with you one story. And that story really is about Abu Salama and Salama. And you know who Salama was? She was the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But let's go back few years before the death of Abu Salama. One day Abu Salama, the reason I want to share with hadith for two reasons. One, see, for Sahaba, as soon as they used to hear anything from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or from wahi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will take it serious and that will change their life. One day Abu Salama was sitting in the Prophet's company and he heard one hadith and he rushed towards his home and he said to Salama, Salama, I heard something from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam today. Wallahi, this is better than having red camels. Red camels in Arab, you know, that was the most precious thing in their time. But Abu Salama is saying, what Prophet has said is better than whatever this world contains. Salama said, what did Prophet said? He said, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you go through any calamity, any difficulty, any hardship, after you say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, you should say, Allahumma ajurni fi musibati wakhluf li khayran minha. Ya Rabbul Alameen, whatever calamity, difficulty I am going through, give me reward of that. Wakhluf li khayran minha. And grant me something which is better than this. Grant me something which is better than this. After a few months, what happened? The battle of Uhud happened, and after that, Abu Salama passed away. Salama remembered this hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when Abu Salama passed away, her husband passed away, she said, I raised my hand. And I was asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, what she was asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, Allahumma ajurni fi musibati. Ya Allah, grant me reward for this musibah, this calamity, hardship I have gone through. And look at what Salama said. Say, as soon as I was about to say rest of the hadith, wakhluf li khayran minha, and grant me something better than this, I stopped, I passed, and I thought that who can be better than Abu Salama for me? Can you imagine that the wife is saying about her husband after his death that who could be better than Abu Salama? Who could be better than my husband? Or if the wife passed away, the husband is saying who could be better than my wife? My brothers and my sisters, we want that kind of family living in this part of the world or anywhere in the world. If we want to face the challenges of tomorrow, wallahi, this is very easy to fix. Very easy to fix. If we all fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that one day, whatever I will say, whatever I do with my family, I will be answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I better put my act together. I put my house in order so that I will be able to face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah